Yourself.
There are no errors.
Okay, we're live.
Oh, really? We're live? What's the title? What's the title of it?
All I see is meeting is now live, streaming live, custom live stream service.
Really? That's the title? Okay, I gotta figure out how to fix that.
Yeah,
Let me see.
custom live stream service.
Bible Hub. I'm sure everybody remembers it.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with StreamYard.
Yeah, I heard of StreamYard. Somebody
A
was
lot
telling
of
me
people going to that. They're saying it's much easier to maneuver and to utilize.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, let me see if I can get this going on YouTube real quick.
Yeah, I can't find it on YouTube yet. That's yeah, and
Really?
normally I subscribe and normally get a message. I'll see it pop up, and I didn't see it on the site.
It's not showing up, huh? See, I see it on YouTube, and it has the title. It has the right title. I don't know what's going on. Oh well, we just work through it. I'll figure it out. So everybody sees the document. So today, what I'd like to do is rather than go through the document first, I'm going to show the KJV. Uh-oh. I'm going to show the KJV. So let me pull that up real quick. And then we'll go through the verse on the KJV and then into the document. So Shalom, everyone. I'm Dr. Yasafa with Zion Law School. Welcome to the Curses course. This is February 6th, 2021. And today we're going to go back and try to finish up Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15, which is where we left off last Curses course. Okay, so here we are at the KJV. This is the 1611 KJV, 1611 KJV, if you look at the cursor. So we're going to go to the KJV standard version, and then we're going to read verse 15, and then also compare that to, oops, so let me go there. We're going to compare that to the KJV in a more modern English version, and then we're going to go straight into the document. By document, what I'm talking about is the book called I Can Read, Phoenician Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 28. I heard an echo. Is that on my end or y'all? Is that you again, Reggie, or?
No, that could be Rosemary's phone.
Oh, it's
Nope,
Rosemary.
this is, I'm totally quiet back here.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. So anyway, I'll show that by the document, what I'm talking about is the book, the course textbook. So we'll get back to that. All right, so this is verse 15 in the 1611 KJV. Authorized version, and this is the standard version. So is anybody watching on YouTube? If you're watching on YouTube, can you mute your microphone? Also, if y'all don't mind, can y'all like the video, share the video? Help the school, like the video, share the video, and mute. Reggie, you're muted. Can everybody mute their microphone, or either that or not watch it on YouTube so that there's no echo?
I still can't find it on YouTube. So is it under Zion Law School or Zion's apostrophe S Law School?
Singular.
Singular. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, the echo is gone, so we're good.
All right.
Okay, so here's verse 15. Apostle, do you want to get us started? You're the elder man. You're muted, Apostle. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. You're muted.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice, excuse me, let me move this to the bottom. If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I have commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay, thank you. So now let's go back and look at that in a more modern version. Laverne, if you have a question, feel free to go ahead and ask it, okay? At any point, Rosemary, if you have a question at any point, feel free to ask.
Thank you.
Reggie, can you read Deuteronomy 28? This is out of the NIV. It really doesn't matter what version we read from, because the technique and the skills you learn are to be used with all versions. So it doesn't matter what version we come out of. We're doing this just because it's more modern English. So go ahead, Reggie, please.
Sir. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. However, if you do not obey the Most High, your power, and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I'm giving you today, all these curses will come on you and overtake you.
Okay, thank you. So I have a question for Laverne. Laverne, what in your own words, just tell us what is being said here. What's the significance of what's being said here? Your estimation. Unmute your microphone, please.
Okay. That the laws and commandments, decrees, statutes must be obeyed, or else there will be curses.
Very good. Or else there will be curses. And I know in class, I know scholars that you guys we beat this to death, but Reggie, would you go ahead and read chapter 28, verse 1, and then compare and contrast that with verse 15.
Okay. 28, verse 1. If you fully obey the Most High, your power, and carefully follow all his commands I give you today, the Most High, your power, will set you high above all the nations on earth. All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Most High, your power.
Okay, so can you give us a comparative analysis between verse 1 and verse 15, please?
The contrast between this and verse 15, it does not mention NIV version. It does not mention the curses at all. And in this, in 28 verse 1 of this version, I could have sworn in the KJV it mentions both blessings and curses in the first verse.
So we'll go back. This is the 28. Go ahead, read, please. This is 28 verse 1 in the KJV 16:11.
KJV, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord will set thee on high above all the nations on earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High, thy power. Okay, I may be getting confused with Deuteronomy 30, with the first two verses of that, okay, but the distinction between verse 1 and verse 15 is that verse 1 speaks to the blessings and continues on from verses 2 to verses 14 with the various kinds of tangible blessings and things that will happen to you. And those blessings, again, while there are plenty, they're only numbered here from 2 to 14. Whereas if you go to Deuteronomy 28:15, which talks about what will happen if you do not follow, if you do not obey, the curses will begin to overtake you. And when you enumerate such, those curses run from verses 16 to verse 68.
Yes.
So notice, it's worth noticing there's almost a fourfold increase in the number of curses that will come upon you. Do the math. You know, it's about 4 times.
Okay, excellent point. Thank you very much. So, Apostle, my question for you is, so we read about the blessings and the curses. Is there a third option or only those 2 options? Unmute your microphone, please, Apostle.
No, absolutely not. Just those 2 options. That's all we have. Either to obey.
Right. So
If
so
we
it's
obey,
just, yes.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, very good. Excellent point. Only 2 options,
Right.
scholars, as you brought out, people in the audience, will either be given extreme wealth or will be given extreme, the extreme wealth is the tangibles that Reggie talked about, or extreme punishments, including death and poverty, all tangibles, okay? So now that we've considered the scriptures, let's go into the document.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the, hold on. All right, so we're in the document. So I finished the book. This is the document right here. And I'm gonna do another edit on it, but I published it already. So let me go back. This is I put this in new, scholars. So this is the table of contents. That's it. Oh, you see that? That's an error. I gotta fix that. You see that? It says 15.
Right. Yeah.
I gotta fix that. Let's see. But this is it. You see, it's organized just like the other books, right? By verse and page number. Okay, so here we are. This is verse 15. Rosemary, I want to show you something, but we're not going to read this. We'll do it in the next class because it takes a little bit of time. So this is the book, of course, right? Chapter and verse here. Okay. Book, chapter, verse. This is the Paleo Phoenician Hebrew script at the top line. Paleo Phoenician Hebrew script. Okay. Let me show you what modern Hebrew looks like. Okay, so you can see the difference. This is modern Hebrew. This is the modern Hebrew script. So do you see the difference?
Big difference, because my Kabbalah has it exactly like what I'm seeing here now.
Yes. Some people will say that it was Ezra who introduced these. Okay, some people say that, but it's the Jewish grammarians who added these. You see these dots and dashes? This is the code. These are dots and dashes, and they represent vowels. In our language, the Ibaryath, or you can pronounce it Ibaryath, that there's no vowels, no dots and dashes, no vowels, okay? And also significant about this is in the process of adding all of these dots and dashes, they also added grammar rules that do not exist in the original language. So this is a language that has nothing to do with our ancient Ibaryath language, okay? The script is different.
Thank you for that.
The words are different. The grammar rules are different, okay? So let's go back to the document. Okay, this is the textbook that we use for the course. Apostle,
Yes.
please facilitate Rosemary on how to read the Ibaryath in the Paleo Phoenician Hebrew script.
All right. The Ibaryath Phoenician Hebrew script, Paleo Ibaryath, reads from right to left. So as you see on the top line, we will start from the right end, beginning with the 15th verse, beginning with the Y, and we'll come down and end with the Ka. The translation, which is underneath, would be read from here because it's the translation, but he shall not come to pass if thou wilt not hearken.
Can you
unto the
state
voice.
the direction? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Apostle. Can you state the direction?
We still going from, well, we actually going from left to right, but we're
With-
starting at the right end of the page. But as you see, it still goes from left to right. Each word. You see that?
Yes,
Rosemary, did you understand that?
yes, sir.
Okay,
Right, because
excellent.
this is the English translation
Yes, very
of
good.
the original Paleo Ibaryath Phoenician Hebrew.
Okay, very good, excellent. So we read our language from beginning at the far right. This right here, 15, that's verse. Okay, and then we begin with the first pictograph, position 1, position 2, position 3, and then this final pictograph, this is the 4th position, right? But if we're talking about roots, a root will have 2 to 3 pictographs. So it'll be first position, second position, or third position, okay? Read, as the apostle said correctly, from right to left, and then underneath it, this is the English rendering, and Bible versions will render this differently. The English is read from from left to right. So at the top line, we go from the furthest right, we read, and then we read the next word. So this space means it's a separate word.
Right.
We'll read from right to left, and then this space means that this is a separate word. And we read from right to left, and this space means a separate word, so on and so forth. And the English, so what we would do, we would read all of the Ibaryath. So this is Ibaryath in what? The ancient, the Paleo Phoenician Hebrew script, right? We read it all, that top line, from the far right to the far left. And then we go down, start at the second line and repeat. We go down, start at the third line and repeat. Fourth line and repeat. This bar means the end of the verse. Clear? All right.
Okay.
Okay. Once we do that, we go back up and start with this first word. Underneath, we read the English left to right. Then we go to the second word. Underneath, we read the English left to right. Third word, we read the English left to right. And we repeat that whole process all the way through. Right here is where the Bible translating team, or whoever it was that translated the Bible, there are many translations. Okay,
Right.
I like to call this the workout, because when we render or translate from Hebrew, from the Ibaryath into the English, it doesn't come out in easy to read sentences, right? We have to do what's called a workout to make it easy to read. So this is the workout, okay? This is the work. In other words, we smooth it up without changing the meaning, okay? Without changing the meaning. But if you're a vicious person, or if you have bad intentions, what are you going to do? You're going to add meanings that don't exist, right?
Correct.
And I've been able to show this in class many times. We call it here a Jeremiah 8:8 occurrence. Okay. So is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is.
Okay, so now let's get further into the discussion. All right. So we're going to look at this in a two-page view. Two-page view. All right.
Wow. Okay.
So before we move forward, I want to introduce what we're looking at. And scholars, this is mostly for people on YouTube, okay? You guys already know this. So we begin with this first line here where we introduce the Ibaryath word written in Phoenician Hebrew, written in the Paleo Phoenician Hebrew script. All the words in this document are in the Paleo Phoenician Hebrew script. The language is called Ibaryath or Ibaryatha. Okay. Then we have the transliteration. This is how you actually speak each pictograph. So here, Rosemary, this is wa. Remember, we're reading our language. We read from right to left. So
Right.
this is wa, but the English we read from left to right.
Left to right.
Yeah, so this is wa. And so this is wa, right there. This is ha. And here we have ha. And then this is ya. This is ya. And then ha. And here we have ha. So if you were to read this from left to right, you would actually be what? Reading or speaking this word.
Wahayaha.
Yeah.
Very good. Say it again.
Very good.
Wahayaha.
Excellent. Congratulations. You just read your first Hebrew word. Congratulations. You haven't been in class 5 minutes. Congratulations. That's excellent.
Thank you.
And this is the part of speech. You know, let me stop for a minute. You know, Rosemary, you just made my day.
Yeah.
You know, let me turn my
That's
camera
nice.
on. Sorry to get on. You know, with hold on, y'all. I want to say something. You know, with the work that I'm doing, Rosemary, I don't know how to say it, but you just touched me because I didn't have to ask you to read, and you read it, right? You did it. It just came out of you, and you touched me because this is my life's work, right? And I don't know what to say. You know, you just made me feel
I
like,
appreciate it. What I have just learned is that I have spent hundreds of dollars on books like the Kybalion, books like the Keys to the Book of Knowledge, and I'm realizing that that is a manipulated version of things versus what you just showed me with the language. That's what I'm now seeing. I'm connecting the dots already.
oh, very good. Well, there's so much more. There's so much more that you're gonna see with your own eyes here. But so thank you, because I needed that motivation. I appreciate that. I really needed that. Sometimes this is very lonely what I do. Okay, let me blow this up a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see than on the. Okay, so here's our part of speech. Let me I like to turn my camera off so I can focus while I'm teaching. So here's our part of speech. Part of speech means the function of the word used in the structure of the sentence. So sentences have structure, and every word performs a function. Okay, this is grammar. This is the rules of grammar associated with, well, there are rules of grammar associated with word morphology, which is how the word is constructed, but then also with how a sentence is constructed. Okay, so when we talk about parts of speech, we're talking about how you, as an author, want to use a word, once you make that decision on how you want to use it, then you apply a part of speech that meets the functional requirement necessary for the way you want to use it. I hope I said that simply in clear English. But we're not going to spend a lot of time. In this class, we go over the grammar. We really don't go deep, but sometimes we go deep into the grammar. We focus mainly on the etymological meanings and the comparative analysis, right? Particularly with trying to identify Jeremiah 8:8 instances or occurrences. I'll show you that shortly, Rosemary. So this is the part of speech, conjunctive wa. All of the definitions of these terms is in volume 2 of this book. This is volume 3. So this is conjunctive wa, verb form 1, perfect tense, right? It's in the perfect tense. And it's third person, masculine singular. So all of this information is explained in simple English for everybody to understand in volume 2 of this book. And this is,
Okay.
I can read Biblical Phoenician Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 28, volume 3, and the other one is volume 2, and then there's a volume 1. So KJV, this is the way the KJV renders or translates this word. Okay, this is how they render it. Okay, the gloss, this is an academic best rendering of the word. Okay, an academic best rendering of the word. Okay, so what's useful here? What do we perform? We perform a comparative analysis based upon all of this information. So now here we see that this is a root word. Okay, so this tells us about the word. This is a root. So roots are either 2 pictographs or 3 pictographs. So this is how to pronounce it. This is the Strong's number. So this root can be found in the Strong's lexicon by searching index number 1961. Okay. So we've had classroom discussions on what these roots are. I won't go into it. If anybody wants to know more about root words, you can come to class and we'll teach that. So this is the meaning coming out of Strong's. Okay, this is the meaning of this root coming out of Strong's. This is the Brown Driver Briggs lexicon, which is a more academic, scholarly lexicon. These are verb forms. So in our language, words, verbs are expressed or they occur in one of 7 verb forms. Okay, so a root such as this may not have a meaning in all 7 verb forms. Some roots, they have a meaning in 1, 2, maybe 3. So here we see this one has a meaning in what? 2 verb forms. But we'll get into the details and the mechanics of this in another class. And then these are the meanings, okay? So here's your orientation. These are the meanings. And also we perform comparative analysis on that information. Now, this is a prefix. The meaning of a prefix, infix, and suffix is in volume 2 of the book. Okay, so here's our wa, or conjunctive wa. Okay, and then we have, of course, how the word is constructed, but this is so simple. You see that this is the root, and this is our prefix wa. Prefix will always go in front of position 1. Okay, so this pictograph is in position 1, this pictograph is in position 2, and this pictograph is in position 3 of this root. Okay, so prefix goes to the right or in front of the position 1 prefix. Everybody got that, scholars?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have a space, and then we repeat the same process for the next word. Okay, so now that we are oriented, let's go ahead and go through this. Can everybody see?
Yes, Con.
Everybody can see?
Yes, I can.
Okay, anybody have any questions before we get started? No? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So Rosemary, the way I present, you will also present, okay? All scholars,
Okay.
all observers are required to participate, also present. You're also required to ask and answer questions, okay? So you can ask your
Okay.
co-scholar any question you want. They're obligated to reply, but there's no guessing in the course. If they don't know, they have to pass it to someone. Someone may pass it to you, in which case you're obligated to answer. But if you don't know, you have to pick someone and pass it, okay?
Okay.
Sometimes we experience observers and scholars who are introduced to information that's very different than what they've been taught. And there's some cognitive dissonance that happens. So almost everybody feels a cognitive dissonance, which is the uncomfortable feeling, maybe even some anger. I just asked that, I think we all asked that if you experience that, everybody here has experienced that, and it's normal, and to just stick with it, okay? That's what Reggie was talking about.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and get in with the presentation. So the way I present is the basic way I would like for everybody, including you, to present. So let's go ahead, let's look at the first word. This is Phoenician Hebrew word, wahayaha. Now, I want everyone to develop the habit of reading from here, not here. In other words, let's develop sight recognition. Okay?
Okay.
That's the goal. So this is where your 911 Ibaryath rescue book will be very useful, because that's focused only on this. Reggie, why don't you present? Well, let me present it. So this is Phoenician Hebrew word, wahayaha, part of speech, conjunctive wa. When you see this bar, that means it's going on to another function, okay? Verb form 1, perfect, third person, masculine, singular. So what are we looking at here? Remember, verb form tells what? Voice and action. That's in volume 2, remember? Verb forms tell us voice and action. It gives us meaning, okay? Gives us meaning. Perfect is the tense. So if something's perfect with our ancestors, with our language, it's perfect. That means it's completed. It would be equivalent to past tense in English. Third person, there's first person, there's second person, and there's third person, right? Okay, all of this is in volume 2. Then the masculine is gender. Singular is number. Okay, so with gender, there's feminine, masculine, common. Common means the word is neither masculine or feminine, or restated, it can be used both ways. Okay, and then singular is number. There is singular, there's plural, and then there's dual. An example of dual would be 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 hands. So anything that occurs in doubles or dual, okay? So 1611 KJV, authorized version, which is, of course, we're going from the standard of the 16, right? Renders this word as, but it shall come to pass. The gloss renders it as, but he will be. So you see, these are different, right? You can just count the number of the words. You see there's a difference in the number of the words, right? That's the first thing we see different. Now, the next difference would be what? We would consider the meaning of what's being said. So difference can be in the number of the word, and difference can be in the meaning. Are you okay, Laverne?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay. So, but it shall come to pass in the 1611 KJV, but he will be. So here we see what? It and he. What's that talking about? Will and shall, or shall come to pass, right? So we use We use precise meanings to get to the bottom of what to determine if these are different in terms of their meaning or if they are the same, but just using different words, right? Okay, so that's part of the analysis that we do. So next in our presentation, we'll read here, we'll say root word, and then we'll read the root word. Hayaha, Strong's number, 1961. This is that's primitive. A primitive root means ancient. A primitive root, compare Hebrews, this H is Hebrews. Okay, Strong's number is divided into, I'm sorry, not Strong's number. The Strong's lexicon has Greek words and Hebrew words. So when you see H, that means Hebrew. Okay, when you see compare, remember everybody, we did all of this, what it means to compare one Strong's number to the other. Compare Hebrews 1933. Okay, now you see the semicolon, now we get to the Hebraic meaning. Hebraic meaning, to exist, i.e., does anybody remember the meaning of i.e.?
Therefore.
Okay, good. Be or become, come to pass, always, emphatic. Anybody remember that? And not a mere copula or auxiliary. We spent a lot of time on this. Do y'all want to go back through this or you want to move forward through it?
I don't remember what emphatic means. You asked.
Okay, so we'll go back through this. Actually, this is
No, stop. I didn't say that. I just said I don't know what that term means.
We
Just
can't
that
go.
term, emphatic.
We have to be thorough in everything we do. So it's okay. We can get through it. Because Reggie, this is a key. This is a key root. That,
yes.
People fight about this, and it has, it's a lot of issues concerning this root.
Yeah, but that wasn't my question.
Can I share something with Reggie?
My question was the only meaning of the term emphatic. Now, unless I just break off my attention and looked up that word, I can do that. That's the only question I have.
Can I share something with Reggie?
Yes, please. Oh.
Okay, scroll back up. Scroll back up, Dr. Usapa. Okay, right here. Shall come to pass. Will be. Emphatic. Something emphatic shall come to, it will happen.
Oh, something emphatic is something that will come. Okay, something that will happen.
Right. It's
okay.
Emphatic.
Okay.
It's going to happen. No chances of it not happening.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Apostle. Let's go through this and then we'll go into that, okay? Let's because it has to be precise. It has to be precise. Also think about the people who don't have your background.
Right, go ahead.
They'll be lost in the sauce, okay?
I'm lost in the sauce with you taking it here because I would ordinarily just go to a dictionary to look up that word and then I'd be right back on. So
be patient, okay? Be patient. We're gonna deal with these. We're gonna deal with this, and we're gonna squeeze everything out of this, okay? We're gonna open it up. Okay, so verb form 1. So we'll read Brown Driver Briggs. This is the academic or the scholarly lexicon that's used in universities. Okay. So verb form 1. So you see 1A. There's lots of meanings here, right? So let's go ahead and read them. So the purpose of reading these is to perform. Let me restate that. We want to see if these definitions confirm to the concepts that establish these meanings. Okay. So in other words, we're looking to make sure that the rules are being followed. And if there's something here that shouldn't be here or that seems out of place, we have to ask ourselves why, right? So we have to do some analysis here. So verb form 1A, to happen, fall out, occur, take place, come about, come to pass. So that we see here, come to pass, right? So we see that the translating team here decided to use this. Everybody see that? That's where they got that. They pulled it right out. Okay, so 1A to come about, come to pass. 1A2 to come into being, become. 1A2A to arise, appear, come. 1A2B to become. 1A2B3 to be instituted, be established. 1A3 to be. 1A3A to exist. Okay, did we see one of those in there? No. Okay. We see to exist, be in existence. 1A3B to abide. Okay, now that kind of stands out, right? To abide, remain, continue. Okay, with the word of place or time. So that would be like a location and a period of time. So these kind of stand out. So what we would do, Laverne, is figure out why these are different. Do they actually belong there? And Reggie, if you could tell us in just a few words, if you can tell us in just a few words, what's the purpose or what's the value in figuring out if these words belong here or not? And then what gives us the authority to make a decision as to whether they belong there or not? You can pass if you like. You're on mute, but just a few words, Reggie.
I believe you're leading to the litmus test. Is it concrete or is it abstract?
That's one technique. Excellent. What else?
Um,
So I would like for you to restate that, saying we have to first determine if the words are Hebraic.
I was going to get there.
Good. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. You didn't. Okay. So yeah. So that's really the meaning of whether it's, is it concrete or abstract, is it Hebraic? Is it a Hebraic mode of thought or a Greek abstract mode of thought? So that's one thing. Another thing would have to do with perhaps looking at the chronology of the word that they're using.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
Because if it's a modern, if you're using a word that's a very modern word, it might not really fit at all.
Excellent point. Well, is it that when you say fit, what do you mean?
It's kind of like if I say, "Oh, that girl over there is fat."
Mm-hmm.
From the sound of it, fat.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, it means PHAT, pretty hot and tempting.
Mm-hmm.
But to someone who's hearing the older word, it could just be fat, FAT. They're just words take on different meanings in time.
Can you tell us a technical term for
slang, jargon, maybe?
The etymological terms. We discuss it all the time.
Etymological terms.
If I tell you, you're gonna say, "Oh."
You're gonna have to tell me. I don't. Etymological.
Laverne.
I would say its meaning. What is its
Okay.
real meaning as compared to what we are trying to get out of it?
Yeah. Well, right now I'm asking what Reggie just described a concept, and I'm just asking what's the technical term.
Oh,
Jimmy, can you answer? Reggie, you're gonna say, "Hey, I know that, man. That was easy." Jimmy, can you tell us the technical terms, please? Okay, Apostle. I wonder if anyone has Al Yashuba's number, can someone call her? You got,
Actually, I was distracted and I just came back into the conversation, so.
okay, so it's just connotative and denotative meaning.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know everybody would know. So connotative and denotative, understanding those concepts, those meanings is critical. Simple, but critical. Reggie also mentioned another critical point with this chronology. Chronology. These two concepts are critical. We determine if a word was in existence at the time. So in other words, the document was written, okay, let's say thousands of years ago, for example, right? But the word only came into existence 200 years ago. So we know from the chronology that they do not match up, and that could not possibly be the word, right? Okay. Why is everybody being quiet? What's going on? Am I losing y'all? Are you bored or what's going on?
No. May I respond?
Yes. That's Rosemary, right?
To your original question. It seemed to be a two-part question, and I hope I remember the question correctly. It seemed to me that the words were put there for a little bit of manipulation,
In many
whereby
instances,
they could manipulate the meaning of the words to whatever context, whatever storyline or platform they want to bring forth.
yes, you are correct.
And there was a second question that you had. It was a two-part question. I don't think I remember the other part of the question.
Oh, what gives us the authority? What gives us the authority to handle, to determine whether these words here belong there or if they do not belong there? What
The original text that the platform for what we're doing here right now, in order to correct the lies that they have been perpetrating for all this time.
Okay.
The platform.
Okay, good. Anybody else want to give an answer as to what gives us the authority to do this? This is, again, another easy question. It sounds complicated, but easy. Jimmy, I know you know.
Our ancestors and what they had set forth for us, the platform from the very beginning.
You're close. You're hot on the trail, Rosemary.
I believe that when our ancestors thought in a concrete format, so we know that basically if it does not fit in a way that we all can actually experience it, then it would not fit in with what was originally written.
That is correct also. So where do we get the authority? In other words, in simple language, I'm saying we can say, hey, this doesn't belong here. It doesn't fit the conceptual framework. Or we can say, well, you know, these are all okay, but I prefer to render this word in this way. Where do we get that authority?
We're obligated.
Yes, we are obligated, but where do we get the authority?
From the Most High.
We get it, yeah, of course, we get it from the Most High, but how? This is very easy. Y'all want me to say?
I can be blunt.
Well, yeah.
I can be blunt. I'm a man. I decide how I'm going to use it. It's a tool for me to use, and I'm going to decide.
That's a large part of it. That's a large part of it, and I like
around
that.
it. Just go ahead and speak direct to it.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said we're talking around it, but there's something you have in mind, so go ahead and speak direct to it.
Please.
Okay. Well, you know, I like to teach by asking questions. So you learn more when I ask questions. So I'll go ahead and say what it is. It's simply because this is our heritage. It's our property. It's our document. It's us that the Most High made a covenant or contract with. Nobody else. So we have the right to do this because what? These documents were taken away from us when we were kicked out of our land. The entire book of the curses were thrown on us, and we lost our heritage. Heritage includes what? Our records, our history, our language, right? Most High says when we return to him, he wants us what? He wants us to learn about the contract, Deuteronomy 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 30, he wants us to learn about the contract, and then he wants us to return to him. And then we have Jeremiah 8:8. So the source of our authority is that one, these are our records, it's our heritage. And we have to do this in order to return to the Most High. Let me prove that.
Our laws and statutes were given to Israel only. As for the other nations, I've never known them.
That's right.
Right.
That's
So,
right. So let's go to our friend Jeremiah. We really worked this scripture, don't we?
Yes.
But we're not going to spend a whole bunch of time, okay? Because I want to move through this so that we can cover some ground in class today. Everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so this is Bible Hub, Jeremiah chapter 8:8. And I'm looking for the one I like the most. Okay, well, let's start with the Amplified Bible. This is how they render Jeremiah 8:8. How can you say we are wise and the law of the Most High is with us and we are learned in its what? Language and teachings. Now, you see these bars, these brackets rather?
right,
Yep.
This is added by the publisher.
right,
Not in the text, but added by the publisher. In other words, the publisher is telling us what their opinion, what this means. We are learned in its language, Ibaryath, right? And teachings, okay, the instructions. Behold, again, bars. He's adding, right? So when you see the bars, open and close bars, it's on the page, but it's not in the document. Y'all got that?
Yes.
Yep.
but it's the amplified. So
Yeah, but
he's,
you also see
he's
this, I think you see
amplifying.
this in money, but anyway, that's another story. Okay, the line pen of the scribes has what? Made the
Made the
law.
law
Go ahead,
into a
read.
lie.
There you go. Now this is in brackets. This is the publisher's, what the publisher understands. So the lie, according to this publisher, is that they made the law into a mere code of ceremonial observances. But when you look at this analytically, this doesn't make sense. And we'll leave it for another class or another day to figure out why this doesn't make sense. A mere code of ceremonial observances. So I hope you got something from that, everybody. And we'll just
I
look at
sure
one.
did.
We'll look at one more contemporary English version. Rosemary, would you like to go ahead and read, please?
You say we are wise because we have the teachings and laws of the Lord, but I say that your teachings have turned my words into lies.
Very good. Who did?
Teachers, scribes.
Rosemary?
Teachers.
And who are
Teachers.
they? Who are they?
They are the people who are in charge of the education system, which would be the rotten child. I like to call them the rotten child. And the gates.
Okay,
Gates.
very good. Very good. Apostle, can you add, would you like to add to that, Apostle?
Yeah, the scribes doing canonization, doing translation, those particular church organizations.
Jesuit.
Very
Say what?
good.
Yes.
Huh?
Jesuit.
Yeah,
Jesuit.
these religious organizations and our ancestors.
Rabbis.
Yeah. Our ancestors too, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So that's why this is important. We're resolving. See, this is our resolution or solution to Jeremiah 8:8. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yep.
That's our authority. And we're told.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
What does the number 1A2B3 stands for? What is that?
Just the meanings. They're numbered,
No.
you can separate one from the other.
Okay.
These
I got you.
they all follow a pattern of relationships. So our task is to understand these relationships and then do some comparative analysis. Okay, so let's jump down here to verb form 2. Okay, to be, to occur, come to pass, be done, be brought about, to be won, to be done, be finished, be gone. So these are all of the meanings for this root word.
Wow.
For this Ibaryath root word. And notice that depending on its verb form, its meaning changes. So verb form 1 has a slightly different meaning than verbs than when you express this root in verb form 2. That's the point I want everybody to make. Okay, so, and then of course we'll do our analysis, but while I'm reading, we're not going to do the analysis. When we go off YouTube, we'll do the analysis. We've already been through this stuff before, right? We stopped, I think we were on the, we're almost finished with verse 15. Okay, so prefix wa is the conjunction and there. Prefix wa is the conjunction and, which can also be rendered but. The prefix wa reverses the tense of the verb it is prefixed to. Thus, remember we read from right to left, wa ha ya ha. Here we can see it. Wa ha ya ha means, or we can say is rendered, and he will be, but he will be, also what? But it shall come to pass. Everybody see that?
Mhm.
All right. Do you understand so far, Rosemary?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's go down to where we left off. Rosemary, congratulations, you were very fast.
Only because of pre-reading. That's all.
Okay, so we stopped here last time, everybody, y'all remember? So we're gonna start with this word here. This is la shamara, la shamara, la shamara, okay, la shamara. Okay, there's the transliteration, la shamara. Part of speech is preposition, verb form 1, infinitive construct. KJV renders this word as to observe. The gloss renders it as to be careful. The root word is shamara, shamara. It's indexed at Strong's number 8104. It is a primitive root, properly to hedge about, as with thorns, i.e. guard, generally to protect, attend to, etc. And I forgot to do something. Let's go back. Well, after we finish this word, we'll go back. Brown Driver Briggs. Let me get rid of this. I don't want that. That makes it, yeah, we get rid of that. Brown Driver Briggs renders this verb, verb form 1. Okay, 1A1, to keep, have, charge of, to keep, guard, keep watch and forward, protect, save life. 1A2A, watch, watchman. This is participle, when used as a participle. 1A3, to watch for, wait for. 1A4, to watch, observe. 1A5, to keep, retain, treasure up, as in memory. 1A6, to keep, for example, within bonds. Restrain 1A7 to observe, celebrate, keep, for example, keep the covenant, keep the Sabbath, keep the commands. Perform, as in perform a vow, 1A8 to keep, preserve, protect, 1A9 to keep and reserve. So as we
Professor?
I think you froze.
I think he froze. Yeah. Apostle?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think since we're still going live, oh, that's right. Yeah, he lost the whole connection, so the paper's down. So we may have to continue it, but it's down.
It's down, man. Yeah. But we still live.
Yeah, we're still live. So
In the meantime, may I ask a question?
sure.
Yes.
You know, I'm behind the 8 ball here with everything. I mean, I called him this morning about 3 minutes before everybody came on, and that's why I'm here. I didn't realize that I even missed a class. Is this the second class? Am I correct?
No, well, no, I think we currently.
This is class.
Well, you haven't missed a lot, but you have missed. Laverne, you've been here 4 weeks?
I've been here 4.
Okay. Okay, so I missed a whole month of.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because we're still on that first verse dealing with curses.
Okay,
we have
thank
not
you.
graduated beyond the first verse, the 15th verse.
Oh.
We're still in the 15th verse. So
Okay.
you haven't. Now, it'd be easy for you to go back once you get an understanding of the Ibaryath, Phoenician. You'll be able to go back, especially after you get the book. And there will be recording. As a matter of fact, I got 2 in my email. The last 2 classes are in my email.
Okay.
And if nothing else, you communicate with me, I can send them to you. And you
Okay,
can,
I'm not really too great with the technology. As you could see, I had a lot of issues trying to get on, but I'll try somehow or the other.
Right. Yeah.
To get caught up. I thank you very much.
Right. It happens. All depends on how old your computer is. And I bought a brand new computer, a gaming computer that costs very much. And I just assumed that it had a camera and speakers to it built in like my other system had. And I was wrong. So I had to purchase a camera, I had to purchase speakers. So go ahead.
I'm so happy to be able to be a part of this class. I'm actually on the job, like I told the professor. So, you know, the kind of job that I have, sometimes I can do it. And this class will normally go for 2 hours. Am I correct?
It often goes for much, much longer, but
you have to drop out when it's time. When it, you know, if it seems like it's going too long for you, because sometimes we can still be here after 1 o'clock.
No, this would never seem like it's going too long for me. the more the better. But I'm just trying to, with my client, trying to figure out how I could go in and out and still stay. So by me asking the question and you answering it, it lets me know that I could still jump back in after I do what I have to do for my lady.
We tend to
Okay,
be
great. Oh, I think I'm going to enjoy this very much.
Yeah.
Are there any books that you guys can recommend that the professor recommended to help me on this journey?
Yeah. Personally, I recommend the first book.
Yeah.
And that's this one here. This
Okay.
is your foundation book.
Okay,
Yeah.
You know,
right.
This is your foundation.
I still haven't gone through this book yet.
Yeah.
I know. I've come in and I've just been jumping into these series, you know, but
Right.
Okay.
you are now. But the thing is, you really won't require, you know, his book is really the pages you see him presenting in front of you. You know,
Okay.
no different going, you know, it's the diligent, long word by word process.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the purpose for going through it word by word is so you get a real good, complete understanding of how to break
I
that
understand.
and do it yourself. So, you know, I had talked with the professor earlier this week, you know, when he had talked about creating that index, and I told him that it should be a totally separate book on its own, because I thought that was a lot more useful than just adding bits and portions to the backs of these as he finishes these. Because the truth is,
I understand.
I won't be, you know, if I think of a bit of the scripture, I'm not going to be looking to come here and just look up for that word. I'm not going to I don't expect to have, it's not going to be useful to me. I have a whole series of books to capture the whole Bible to get every line word by word. That's not useful for me. What is useful, I thought, was a very quick guide of, you know, a brief reference of a short definition of words and his meanings, his grammatical rules, you know, a little thing about the approach so a really quick tool book that you can use it such that if I had something written down in Paleo Hebrew script in front of me, I could take that guidebook and use it to transcribe it pretty quickly.
How about that lexicon that he mentioned? Did he recommend that we get one?
The Brown Driver Briggs, I don't even know where you buy that, but I've got a Strong's. So
Okay.
this is the Strong's.
You can get it online. You don't have to buy it. You can buy it.
It's online.
You can get it on.
Get it online.
Bible Hub.
Yeah.
I love to have my own paper, my own way I could stick my fingers through. I just love that.
But I'm sure you can buy one. I mean, it's just a collegiate level college dictionary.
Okay.
I'm sure you can
Thank
buy
you.
one.
Yeah.
You know, his Strong's is different. His Strong is more elaborate than mine.
Okay.
I don't
Thank
have the complete.
The Brown Briggs.
Yeah,
No,
I don't have that one either. I just have the Strong's.
I'm talking about the Strong's. See, his is the complete exhaustive. I just have the limited one.
Okay, thanks.
But I mean, there's a lot of things you can get, but you know, you need you get you a good dictionary and one good Bible, and you should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Holy
Thank
Spirit,
you.
the Ruach is an amazing thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it'll get you in the direction that you need to be and give you the information that you need to have.
Mm-hmm.
It'll put you in front of the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank you.
Yeah. It'll bring those people to you. It will.
No, trust me. I believe that because I've seen evidence of it already. You know, because before this course here, I've been on a little journey, and praise God for Taj, because he has really
Chris.
helped me to be here actually.
Huh?
So
Are you smoking?
thankful for that.
Yeah. Let me try to send Elle a text to see what's up, whether he can connect back in. See if I can send the professor.
You heard from Ben, Reggie?
No, I haven't. I've not heard.
Maybe he's not coming
Not
back.
heard from him, and I ain't heard from. I don't know what Cleveland is. Cleveland would.
No, Professor talked about Cleveland earlier. He won't be with. He had
Okay.
an obligation.
I'll just send a quick text.
I wonder if we got anybody watching us.
Yeah, I think there's still some people watching, but I'm going to try to maybe pass an idea to him that he may want to consider for the future shows. You know how I was able to share some information with you all online. It might not be a bad idea that if he has even some of these pages or even just a chapter out there, in a shared folder, so that at least you or I can reference. So should he lose his connection since he's so far away, you or I may be able to just bring that page up, share the screen, and continue class.
And
so he's able to join back in.
Right.
Because that way we don't lose.
Keep it very basic.
Yeah.
There he is.
So I'm gonna write that down as an idea.
Right. Good idea.
Sorry, I'm back. My computer shut down for some reason. I don't know why. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I apologize for that. Are we still on YouTube or do I need to?
No, we still live.
Still live.
Really? Y'all okay?
I don't know how with you being off air, because I thought our connection was through you.
No, he's probably he probably sets up on some centralized YouTube server in the internet. And
Right. Okay.
so it's kind of like when you do like even with these Zoom sessions, you scheduled and it stays open. So same thing probably with that YouTube thing. As long as you scheduled that time, it stays up and running.
Okay. So I hope I pull the right document. I got to pull the document back up, y'all. Give me a second. Are y'all comfortable?
Yeah, we good. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull this up. Jimmy, you look like a professor. I'm waiting for the document to come up.
Okay.
So in Vietnam, there's a holiday called Tet coming up. So basically all of Saigon is the people pretty much gone. It's their version of Chinese New Year.
Every time I hear Tet, I keep thinking of the Tet Offensive.
Oh yeah, why did I think of that?
Yeah.
You know, my friend told me.
What?
My friend told me that the Chinese, the word she used was controlled Vietnam for 1,000 years, and then she said that the French controlled Vietnam. I hope this is the right document, y'all. I don't know.
So then the French, what also controlled them for how many years after that?
Put them in slavery in the 1800s, mid 1800s. I think 1870 something or 1860 something until, I don't remember the exact dates, maybe 1930s or 40s. And then I don't know how they kicked the French. I don't know how it happened. I got to learn the history here. But they're able to kick the French out. And then in the 1950s, the French came back in and tried to enslave them. And
You know
they
what?
were not, huh? They were not,
I'm just thinking, wow, you know, some of these curses may apply to their people as well. If they've been,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah, you may.
They have a, plus there's a desert here, but I don't know how the desert was formed. If y'all remember what I'm talking about.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it seemed like America would have learned something.
Well, the Americans came in the 50s. This is what the Vietnam War was about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed like they, after watching the French get their tails kicked, it seemed like they would have learned something.
Yeah.
Trying to take something from somebody.
But they came in trying to re-enslave them, trying to help to put them back in slavery. Here was where we were. Isn't that interesting history?
Yeah.
That's interesting history. We got a lot more in common with them than you know, than either of us really even understand and know, right? You know, you kind of understand the potential power of them looking at our books, and it may be, El, you know what? If they've been under slavery so long, and maybe I thought to look in to find some of their historical scholars, to find some of their ancient books to see if maybe the Most High might have even communicated something to them. If Yasharal has been woven and spread out to all parts of the world, and they're integrated everywhere, you never know.
Yes, yes.
They may have some ancient, they may have some ancient books, and the only way you know is by finding those books, reading them, and then if you see if they kind of like align with our books, then you know.
Yeah, I hope to be putting up some videos soon. I'm right now. I'm trying to find a guide going to the Buddhist temples.
Wow, 1,000 years of slavery, though.
By the Chinese. Now Chinese, they're known hybrids, right?
Yeah, but that 1,000 years of slavery is similar to almost like the 700 years of slavery of Islamic slave trade.
For us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Remember the Chinese were really what? Hamites. Originally Hamites.
Yeah.
They would have been classified as black people.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so let's but then the hybrid Chinese Asian is the one that's mixed with the is it called Denisovian? The Denisovian DNA, whereas the hybrid European is Neanderthal. So we're talking about hybrids, right? Enslaving. Okay, so anyway, let's continue. So let's go back to our word. We were at La Shamara. Okay, verb form 2 is where I think my computer crashed and turned off. So 1B1, to be on one's guard, take heed, take care, beware. 1B2, to keep oneself, refrain, abstain. 1B3, to be kept, be guarded. Verb form 3, 1C, to keep, pay heed. Verb form 7, 1D, to keep oneself from. Okay, and then, so what we would do when we get off YouTube, y'all, like Reggie said, and we would perform our litmus test to check if these concepts are to check if these are Hebraic in meaning or not, or Greek. It's always either one or the other. We would look at the chronology of words, right? as Reggie said. And then we would look at the concepts that constitute why these meanings are in here and look for consistency or incongruency. Okay, so let's look at the morphology. Okay, so remember this is our word, la shamara. All right, so we have a prefix la, is a preposition to, toward, for, thus la, remember, right to left, la shamara. Y'all want, oh, okay, I put it. So here it is, la shamara. So la shamara is translated to be careful, to observe fully. But remember, you could use you can use something, a meaning from up here, right? Strong's is not giving you verb forms. This is why what? I never told y'all this before, but I'll make the connection for you now. This is why every word in the Hebrew scriptures is not in Strong's, because it doesn't give you verb form. Everybody see that? Okay, that's a very important point. All right. Let me get rid of this. I don't want that there. You know what? This might be, I don't think this is the current version. Okay. So anyway, whereas here in the Brown Driver Briggs, you see all of the verb forms. Okay. So this is one reason or one proof, one evidence that all Hebrew words, all Ibaryath words are in the Brown Driver Briggs lexicon. Everybody make that connection? Everybody make the connection? Remember, verb form is what? Nothing but a pattern of spelling. So the spelling changes always in the same way for verbs that are expressed in verb form 1. Spelling changes always in the consistent pattern for every verb form. That's why you can identify every verb form. This is why every word is in Brown Driver Briggs, right? But this is just one evidence. Verb form is just one evidence. There are others. Okay. People in the audience probably don't have a clue what we're talking about, but we're going to go through it anyway. So let's continue to our next paragraph. Take note here, take note that the prefix la attached to an infinitive construct is used to express purpose or result. So what is purpose or result? See, here's our infinitive construct. Remember we talked about in grammar, you as the author, you're going to determine how you want to use a word, what purpose you want to make it serve. So if you're talking about purpose, like your purpose is to buy a pair of pants, the result you want is to win. That's all this means. So when you're dealing with any statement like for reading or for mastery or to win or to go, you're going to use, or you're going to put that verb in the infinitive construct form, which is only represented by spelling, okay? So I'll have all of this out in more detail in the grammar book, the grammar handbook that I'm putting together, along with the verbs, with the root words. Okay, explanation. An infinitive construct is a verbal noun. What does it mean to be a verbal noun? It means that the verb functions as a verb and a noun. It functions as a verb and a noun. So in simple terms, what that really means is that this verb follows the rules of grammar of verbs and nouns. So in other words, it'll be spelled like a verb, or you can spell it like a noun. The rules of both apply. Okay, so verbs, where we are here, verbs expressed in the infinitive construct form do not express person. Remember, person is first person, second person, third person. So infinitive construct has nothing to do with person. You won't know anything about person. What else? Gender, masculine, feminine, common. Okay, now this is not natural gender like sex, it's grammatical gender. Everybody remember. Number, singular, plural, dual. Okay, so infinitive construct doesn't tell you anything about first person, second person, third person. Doesn't tell you anything about gender, number, right? Doesn't tell you anything about gender or number. So we get this through what? We get this through verb form and also through conjugations. We get those things. All right. So let's continue. Okay. So and are commonly translated with the preposition to in front of the verb, as in to read, to run, to love, right? So when you see to in front of a word, that's going to tell you it's in the infinitive construct. Okay, it's an infinitive construct form. Okay, to ponder, etc. Now, see, like a noun. Okay, so now we're talking about the rules of grammar that apply to nouns. An infinitive construct verb can be used as the subject of a verbal idea, as in to read. Okay, so reading is a verb, right? To read or reading is, to read is rewarding or reading is rewarding, okay? To read is rewarding work or reading is rewarding work. Or as the object, as in I want to learn, okay? Or learning. Be patient, y'all. It's just a little grammar, okay? We get through it. We're gonna do a grammar class where we can go through all of the details about this. It'll be easier than it is in this. Finally, infinitive construct verbs do not express tense. Tense is gonna be what? Past, present, and future in English, but in our language, well, y'all don't get, we're gonna do this the way I think you learn most. What are the tenses in Ibaryath? Okay, so let me go back up and let's go through this, okay? This is another very important concept. All right, so Apostle, could you begin reading? This is dealing with the tetragrammaton. Could you read this paragraph, please? Well, better yet, Laverne, do you want to read?
I can.
Okay, yeah, let's let you participate. Apostle, you facilitate if she has a question, okay, please?
Okay. Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay, go ahead, please, Laverne.
Following the Greek custom, Jewish grammarians combined the present and future tenses of the ancient Phoenician Hebrew language into one tense, the imperfect tense, Phoenician Hebrew language.
Yeah, I'm going to change this to Ibaryath because this might confuse people. I'm going to change that to Ibaryath. Okay, so because this is actually a script. Phoenician Hebrew is a script. This is Phoenician Hebrew, Paleo. There's ancient, Paleo, and late. But anyway, start at the top again. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Start at the top again and read the whole paragraph.
So it shouldn't be Phoenician.
It should be Ibaryath.
Ibaryath. Okay.
Right. Okay, so go ahead.
Following the Greek custom, Jewish grammarians combined the present and future tenses of the ancient Ibaryath Hebrew language into one tense, the imperfect tense. For example,
Y'all see that? Apostle, you want to make some type of comment on that?
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Did somebody say something?
Go ahead, Rosemary. You have something you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to comment on it.
Oh, go ahead.
What they're pretty much saying there, slap in our faces, is that they intended to confound the language and they did it. They told us that they would, but I guess people didn't pay much attention.
Right, and then how would you pay attention, right, if you weren't properly educated in school, right?
Correct. See,
now all of this makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes,
it all makes sense why they ensure they give us a poor education.
Correct.
Excellent, excellent, Rosemary. You have anything else you want to say, Apostle? If not, I'll bring
No,
something out.
yeah, she dealt with it.
You want to say something about this highlighted part, or you want me to?
The following Greek customs,
Yeah,
following the Greek customs, the Jewish grammarians combined. Well, I mean, what this is it's a Greek custom to what they're saying. This is a Greek custom
yeah.
to
Excellent
combine the
point.
present and future tenses.
Excellent point.
And actually, the ones that did it were perpetrators.
That's right. They perpetrated a fraud, perpetrated a fraud. That's what we used to say back in the day.
Yeah.
They perpetrated a fraud. See, this is Greek, has nothing to do with us. What does the Most High say? Do not what? Follow the customs of the heathens.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, do not envy thy oppressor.
Yes. So here are these grammarians, Jewish. Remember we had that class about we discussed in class the difference between a Judean and a Jewish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Right. A Judean is someone from Judah.
That's right. And a Jewish person is somebody anywhere in the world who practiced Judaism.
Right.
Has nothing to do with us.
As a religion.
So Reggie, apply the concept of what can you tell us about the chronology? Let me rephrase that. What can you tell us about the chronology? When did this happen?
It happened about 400 years before Messiah, before Yahushua came. The 400 years of Greek, approximately after the period between the books of Malachi and Matthew. You know,
The Maccabean period.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the Maccabean. Yep.
So this is telling us when they did this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did this sometime during or shortly after the Greeks.
Yeah.
Right? Following Greek custom.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jewish. Right?
Yeah.
But the Greeks and the Jewish is one and the same. They separate them as though they're two entities, but they're one and the same.
Okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, because what happened was they created
Right.
through Hellenization, they force our regular people, our traditional people, to convert to Hellenistic ways.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with people like Timothy, why he was considered, because his father took on Greek customs and Greek ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you.
But go ahead.
Okay, so thank you. So present and future would be now and future. No difference between now and future. In other words, no difference between now and tomorrow.
Right.
Now and 5 minutes from now. No difference. They combined it.
The same. Mm-hmm.
That's mentally confusing.
It is.
Right.
Right. And then you have to learn how to identify these when you read. So, so these Greeks or these Jewish people, they combine. So in other words, you have past, which they call perfect, and you have now and future, which is imperfect. Okay. Confusing. Okay. And then we don't have to go into this because everybody understands the concept, right?
Right.
Right.
Everybody understand what they did. So let's go back to it.
Yeah. A little bit, but El, just yeah, I just made a note on that last paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze a little bit more useful meat out of that. No,
This one?
yeah, about combined
Oh.
following the Greek customs, present and future tenses. I think to add a little bit more, basically saying that there's really no difference, stating an easier way of paraphrasing that so it makes sense, so we can really read it and readily understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
I mean,
clarify it. Clarify it. Is that what you're saying? Clarify it.
Clarify that, yeah. So because you're saying it, but I really don't quite understand the impact. Well, I think you just said you had mentioned a bit of the impact being making it difficult to understand. They were basically saying that now and tomorrow basically has no difference. So just
you know why I didn't do that? You want to know why I didn't do it? Because somebody's going to say, "Oh, he's putting his opinion."
Yeah, but you got to stay
there,
and I'm like, what does that mean? Even if I look that up, I don't really quite understand. I get no juice out of that. I didn't get any juice from out of that. I didn't get any really understanding of that until you kind of really loosely translated it, saying that basically now and tomorrow basically the same. So that's all. It just
okay. So I'll figure out how to deal with this, but this is not the final document. This is
correct. Yeah, because I'm also trying to read it to where, I said, yeah, I get it. I know where they're at, and that first part just loses me. But it's okay. Thank you,
Reggie.
Yes, sir.
Reggie, this period, this time in our history, you can follow the pattern in the change of our language along with the devastation that we went through during this particular period of this Maccabean period, because this is during the same time of the rise of the Herodian faction.
Yeah.
Esau becoming king in Israel.
Yeah. No, I understand all that. I understand about the history, but it just the significance of this with respect to the grammar, combine the present and future tenses. So we'll talk about it later, but thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Let me show y'all, and then we'll move past this, okay? Because I don't want to spend too much time on it. See, that information is here. This is the Tetragrammaton. So there are people who call on this as their power. Okay.
Really?
Yes, people call on, this is the YHWH. The one, right? This is the YHWH. So here, that's this one.
Yahweh. Okay.
So I don't want to put anything in here that's going to make it look like I'm giving somebody my opinion. So here's the root word. So actually, it's not even a root. This is the base word. But y'all should remember this. We looked at this root word, right? It just has a prefix and they changed it into a noun. But that's another story. Okay. This is part of what we just read.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to go through this, right? We're treating this like a verb. So for example, here's our root word, right? This is the hawaha. Now, remember, this is the base word. This is a proper noun. That's this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Proper noun. However, everyone should remember that this is something that what? This is Exodus chapter 3. When this was introduced, prior to Exodus chapter 3, it was nothing more than this root word. We went through these meanings, right? It was nothing more than that with this prefix, right? So prefix Yah tells us that this word occurs in the imperfect tense, and the subject of the verb, or the subject of, here's the verb, okay? Strong's 1961, Hawaha, is the third person masculine singular pronoun he, thus Yahawaha, this is the tetragrammaton, Strong's number 3068, means he exists, he will exist, or any of the various definitions given above. Of course, context is always helpful to determine a word's meaning and how to render it in English. But notice here, he will exist. Will is what? Future tense.
Yeah, he exists. Yeah.
Okay, but what about here? He exists.
Present tense.
Present tense. And then this is the explanation. This is the why. But most people are not going to catch that.
I get it now. I see it now.
Yeah, most people aren't going to catch that. You didn't get it because we didn't go through this.
Yeah, but I get it now. I get it now. Okay.
So I don't, you know, this is a scholarly document, and I don't want to put my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, unfortunately, you know how some people will do if I put my opinion. So anyway, so here's how it plays out. Here, since we covered this, here's how it plays out. For example, the words, this is the power that GOCC calls on.
Right.
This is the Ahaya deity. And I have a GOCC friend who gets angry at me when I say deity. I'm trying to say power so I don't offend people. This is the Ahaya power. And this is the Yahweh, Yahuwah, et cetera, power. Okay. So these two words, here's our root word, Hawaha. Hawaha. This has the Yah prefix.
Yeah.
This has the Ah prefix. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, for example, the words Ahaya and Yahweh are merely different tenses of the same verb. Hey, Strong's number 1961. Y'all see that? Following Jewish customs. I'm sorry, following Greek customs, Jewish grammarians combine present and future tense. Okay. What are the present and future tense? Well, that's just a question. See, I asked a question instead of making a statement.
Why?
Right? So why are these divine names? They were not divine names before Exodus chapter 3. People would say it and it simply meant he will exist. Or if it's this one, well, this is all in volume 2. Remember that table in volume 2? All of this is explained in table format in volume 2. So anyway, let's move on. People get upset about that, so I don't really want to deal with it too much. Okay. Verbs in the infinitive construct, conjugation or form, I like form better, often occur with a prefix. We saw the la, a pronominal suffix. We always see ka, right? That functions as the object. Remember the subject and the object, these meanings are in volume 2. The relation, what they are in the relationship to them and their function is in volume 2. All right. So a pronominal suffix, this functions as the subject or the object of the verbal idea or both. A verb in the infinitive construct conjugation can take the prefix ba, okay, which translates as when or while. It can take the prefix ka, which translates as when or while. So these are the same, right? Ba and ka here would have the same meaning. The prefix la, as occurred in this word, which expresses purpose, intent, or result, as in the phrase in order. So in order to win, let me read that again. To win the game for my team. The purpose, what? In order, right? Okay, in order to win the game for my team, in order to see the land blossom. And he shot the rifle in order to kill the bear. See, intent or purpose or result shown in that. And they ran in order to get there faster. And then the last one, 4, pronominal suffixes such as the second person masculine singular kai. We always see this. Kai is the you or the yo. The you or the your, depending on how it's being used. Okay, y'all good?
Con.
Yeah.
Everybody good? All right. Okay, so Phoenician Hebrew word, Rosemary,
Yes.
want to read this one? You can read it from here.
Oh. La isawata.
La'ai,
La I. Sa wa ta.
very good, very good. Now, this is not a noun, this is a consonant.
Right. It's not a verb. Right.
Right.
Okay, so very good, Laverne. Part of speech, Laverne,
Preposition,
continue.
verb form 1,
Mm-hmm.
infinitive construct,
Okay, continue.
1611, and to do.
1611 renders this word as and to do. Say something like that.
Oh, okay.
Wait. You know, okay, go ahead.
Gloss, to do.
All right. You know, let's stop right here because I want to deal with what Reggie talked about before we go further. And then I think we're going to have to end in about 30 minutes, y'all.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
good.
don't want to let this go without dealing with this, okay? Because this is a divine name, and see, we have to deal rigorously with all divine names because this is what gets our people
Yes.
this is why the Most High deals with us in a very harsh way, right? Calling on these other deities. So let's get to the bottom of this. This is a primitive root. Primitive means ancient. So this is an ancient root going back to the time of our ancestors. It says compare Hebrews 19:33. We will do that. See to exist. See, you see to infinitive construct, right? No, in this case, no, because this is a meaning, not a part of speech. But if we saw that, this form is confinitive because it's to, right? To do any. Okay, so anyway, be or become, come to pass in all ways. So now let's go through these words. Reggie, you gonna do the honors?
Always emphatic.
We're gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Y'all okay?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Everybody's so quiet. I don't know what's happening.
We're listening. We're thinking.
Oh, good. Okay, Reggie, you gonna do the honors? Let's first look at always. And see, no matter how small or simple or common a word is, we always look it up to get a precise meaning. Okay, so Reggie, you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, just putting that down. Always means at all times, on all occasions.
Synonyms are similar?
Similar words every time.
Okay, just the ones that stand out to you.
All the time, consistently, habitually, unfailingly.
Okay, so let's go back to the document now. Okay. Okay. So on all occasions, right? On
Mhm.
all occasions, always, on all occasions, and then it says emphatic. So let's go back up here and look up this term. The precise meaning. Hold on, y'all. Let me share my screen. Okay, Reggie.
Emphatic. It's an adjective. It means showing or giving emphasis, expressing something forcibly and clearly. The children
So
were,
always. Okay, sorry about that.
as an
Finish
example,
it.
the children were emphatic that they would like to repeat the experience. The children strongly express, I guess you can find a better, easier word than emphatic. Okay. Vehement, firm, wholeheartedly forceful, forcible, energetic, vigorous, ardently. Yeah, I understand all those words far more and easier than I understand the word emphatic.
Yeah, and it's not by chance that they use grammar terms that are so what's the word? Uncommon. Let's say uncommon.
Common, yeah. Definite. Okay.
Okay, so always emphatic, always showing or giving emphasis, expressing something forcibly and clearly. That's what that's what that meaning is saying. So go ahead and repeat, Reggie, say this in your own words using the meanings that we just got, please.
I would never say the word emphatic. It comes across as a bougie way of saying forceful. Okay? Very bougie way of saying it. We'd go, huh? What are you talking about, Negro? Get out of here with that emphatic. What do you mean? State your point forcefully, meaningfully, intentfully. So, but always always emphatic, always forcefully, I guess, and with intention, not a mere copula, another word I would use, or auxiliary. That one I know.
So let's go back. But we're doing this for people who are not familiar with this. Everybody. So those people in the audience who may not, or who may watch this video in the future, we're doing this for you because everybody here knows this. Okay. All right, there you go. Reggie, please.
I can't see the screen just yet. Okay, copula. Okay, so it's always emphatic. It is not copula, not a connecting word. In particular, a form of the verb be, connecting a subject and a complement.
Oh, isn't that interesting? A form of the word be.
Yeah.
A form of the verb be.
Be, to be.
To be.
So we looked up those meanings, right? And we looked up tense.
In order to be, yeah.
Right?
A connecting word.
So now let's combine this. Let's use the dictionary terms that we used, that we looked up to restate these.
So
always emphatic and not a mere copula.
Not a mere connecting word.
So on every occasion, continue.
Strongly expressed.
Yes, and not a mere
connecting or auxiliary word that you would just ignore, forget.
Now let's look up auxiliary. Let's look up auxiliary. So give me 1 second. I'll share my screen. Reggie, continue, please.
Auxiliary, providing supplementary or additional help and support.
Okay, so now let's repeat the same process. If we were to go down to the synonyms, do you see anything that stands out, or just go back to the document?
Sure. Extra, additional, backup, fallback, and then based upon the situation, we use things like fallback, emergency, ancillary, but like assistance, support, helping, assisting. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the document, and now let's read this with all of the meanings that we just looked up.
So it is a primitive root to exist, be or become, come to pass, It's always emphatic.
But let's use the meanings that we just got.
Always forcefully or strongly expressed, I would say, and not a mere connecting word or connecting or supporting assisting word.
Or word adding additional information.
Yeah. Okay. Correct. It was there for support.
So now let's go back and figure out what this thing means. The root, a root word.
Excuse me, guys, I'm gonna be out for a little bit. I'll be back in.
Okay. A root word cannot be spoken. A root word cannot be spoken until it is expressed in a verb form and conjugated.
Mhm.
It is the root or the most basic building block of that which make up words. Okay, be they nouns or verbs or whatever. Okay. It carries a very generic meaning, the most general or generic meaning of all words that derive from it. In other words, this root is the building block. Okay, words are made from this root, and its meaning is written on an index card, so to say, right? And you can find that index card by looking at this number, 1961, Strong's number 1961. This cannot be spoken. This is the most general meaning. So any word that's made, any word that has this root, this will have the most general basic meaning, right? Okay. So with that information in mind, what is this telling us? A primitive root. So let's compare. Anybody have their paperback Strongs? Or you want, well,
Let's
Hebrews
use Reggie's
1933. Let's look it up.
I need to get myself a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
It wasn't so small.
All right. Now it says, oh, well, we need to first look up compare. Let's look up compare. Y'all remember we did this before, but let's go ahead and do it again, because this is a sensitive topic.
That was 1933, right?
Yeah. So here's compare. Apostle, would you like to take us through this one?
Yeah,
Please?
yeah, compare. It's a verb. Number one, estimate, a measure or note that is similarity or dissimilarity between individuals, schools, compare their faculty with those of others in the area, excuse me.
Okay.
What's that? Similar or contrast, correlate, differential. What's that word there?
Way up and then balance. Juxtapose.
Juxtapose.
Place or deal with together, close together for contrasting effect.
Yeah, black and white photos. Contrast,
Let's look that
contrasting.
one. It's not clear. Hold on.
What did you say, El?
I'm gonna look that one up separately. Differing strikingly. So we're looking for differences and similarities, right?
Right.
That's what it's saying. So in other words, compare and contrast. See, compare. Take this back. See, similarity or dissimilarity between things. Juxtapose, put things next to each other, contrast, look at the differences, right? State of being strikingly different from something else in juxtaposition that's next to. Or what? Or close
Close
relation.
association.
Okay. So these are different terms. So let's go back. Okay, so everybody sees the kind of analysis we're about to perform, right?
Yes.
Now here's a bullet point. Here's a nuance. Draw an analogy between one thing and the other. Draw an analogy between one thing and another for the purpose of explanation or clarification. And we're definitely going to do that, right?
Right.
So now let's just be clear and we'll look up analogy. Okay, this is telling us everything to do, isn't it?
Yes.
Go ahead, read, please, Laverne.
At its most basic, an analogy is a comparison of two things that show similarities. Sometimes the things being compared are quite similar, but other times they could be very different. Nevertheless, an analogy explains one thing in terms of another to highlight the ways in which they are alike.
Okay, very good. Now let's go back and look at the document. Okay, a primitive root means it's ancient. Compare Hebrews 19:33. So which of those bullet points do we want to use? Which seems most appropriate, or do we just use them all? It's just that this is an opinion type of thing. No right or wrong answer. Why is everybody so silent? What's going on?
Thinking,
Oh, okay.
contemplating what you said, you know,
Okay.
like King said, the chicken guy that died from what you call him, he had so much stuff swirling around top of his head during the election, he couldn't answer the question because he had a lot of stuff when he was running for president.
Okay.
He had a lot of
can I go
stuff
back?
swirling around in his head. He was thinking.
Anybody still reading this, or can I go back to the other text, or y'all still reading?
All back to the other thing.
Go back.
Reggie, I'm mute. I didn't hear you, Reggie. What'd you say, Reggie?
Yes, feel free to go back.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Next bullet point, have a specified relationship with another thing or person in terms of nature or quality. Be of an equal or similar nature or quality. And then 2, form the comparative and superlative degrees. All right, so now let's take a look at this word. This is the Hava. Now we've seen people call on this as a deity before. But anyway, so here we are. Part of speech is a verb, right? We're always interested in part of speech, verb, action word. It's also a primitive root. Notice it says compare, then it has 1961, which is what we're looking at. We'll open this up in a different tab. We'll look at that in a minute. So let's see what it has to say. Okay, so these are English translations, not Hebraic meanings. Rendered in English is be thou, shall be. So be thou is what? Now, present tense, right?
Yeah, be thou.
Be is present tense, shall be is future. Okay,
Maybe is.
and have. Okay, this is hath. I don't remember what hath means. Let me open that up. I think that's past tense. I don't remember the meaning of hath. For what hath man his labor? So let me hold on. Let me look it up in the dictionary.
As labor. I just meant hat.
Anybody want to read that? Oh, third person singular. Okay, so it's present.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's
present.
past. It's singular present of have. Wait a minute. Ancient term, third person, singular present of have. Singular present of have. Let me see. I don't like that. That's not clear. In the past, the third person singular form of the present tense of have. He, she, it, have. Okay, so present tense.
He has.
Present tense. I guess modern English is have. Okay, so all of those were present tense except for what? The one future. Remember we talked about the grammarians, right?
Right.
This is future. So we see present mixed with future. Everybody see that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now the Hebraic is to fall, to be, become, exist, and happen. Okay, let's see now. This is the same word, y'all. This is the same word, just a different spelling.
Yeah.
A primitive root. Okay. It says compare these. We're going to look at 183. It says it's supposed to mean, that's interesting, right? Supposed to mean properly to breathe, to be as in what? The sense of existence. Everybody see that?
Why would they define something in the book saying it's supposed to be?
That's a good question for you to answer.
No, I'm asking you, why would it wait? So if it's supposed to be, then what should it be? It's supposed to be.
Or what about that rendering? It may be,
Or it may
There
be.
you go.
or it may be.
It
See,
shows
the
that
problem with this is it's not Ibaryath,
Yeah.
Mhm. See, what
Right?
does it say? Generally what?
generally assumed or believed to be the case,
That's
but
right.
not necessarily so.
Y'all
Yeah.
see that? Huh? Now let's go
That's
back
that
and
may
deal
be.
with it. Huh?
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, wait. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The words in the Bible, they
Is this concrete?
to libel. It ain't necessarily.
Is this concrete?
Supposed to mean properly. Let's look up properly. Let's get this real precise.
How can it be supposed to be?
Well, remember Jeremiah 8:8, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, properly, correctly, or satisfactorily, in the strict sense, exactly. So let's go back. In the strict, okay, supposed to mean in the strict sense or exactly to breathe, to be as in the sense of existence, supposed to be. Now here's something that's what? Questionable, right? Maybe not. But
Right.
then they're using properly.
But even that's kind of, look at properly. Even that's kind of flaky because
Schizo, right?
yeah. Well, again, it goes between exactly and correctly or satisfactorily. Well, satisfaction is in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
In terms of who's
Right. Let's say a C.
This is
Or your
putting
parents are okay
perfume
with a
on a
D.
pig, man.
Right.
This is putting perfume on a pig without bathing him.
Yeah.
Right. You know?
Yeah.
Now, this is not us saying it. This is just what's in here.
Right.
Yeah, well,
they put it in there.
but they're the ones saying it.
Exactly. So what does that say about them who put it in there?
Well,
Jeremiah 8:8.
when I saw the valve, I right there knew who put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no valve in our alphabet.
Reggie, do you have your paperback?
What, the Strongs?
Yeah, I got mine. I could look it up.
Yeah. What do you want me to look up?
There's more to it. Let me see. You're in the expanded exhaustive, right?
Yep.
1933. Ow.
You want to look up 1933? I have it.
Okay, can you begin reading, please? I injured my wrist and I haven't been to the gym in about 6 weeks.
Okay.
And, man, it's rough.
Okay.
I thought it was healed, but what's the number? I forgot the number. 1931
1933.
to 1933. Okay, Reggie, could you read, please?
Yeah. Hava. H-A-V-A or H-A-V-A-H. A primitive root. Compare it to 183 to 1961. Supposed to mean, I assume properly
Proper.
to breathe, or semicolon, to be in the sense of existence. Colon, to be thou, 2 times, be, shall be, may be, hath, C-T-W-O-T.
Okay, so go to 1934, please.
Okay, 1934, again, hava, H-A-V-A-H, corresponding to 1933, to exist, used in a great variety of applications, especially in connection with other words. Be, miscellaneous, become, behold.
Well, I'm lost. I think I missed you. Are you 1934?
1934, yes.
Okay, it says corresponds to 1933.
Yes, to exist. Semicolon, used in great variety of applications, and especially in connection with other words.
Okay, and can you read how these are can you read how they are rendered in English?
There are some distinctions, though, with the other words that they show. It looks very similar to the word before it, but however, here, notice here with 1934, some of the words that they connect in connection to, they have words like connect, cease, cleave, consider, give, have, judge, which is different, keep, labor, mingle, put, see, seek, set. Wow, it's okay. Yeah, okay. I don't quite understand the description, but
Well, it's used in connection with other words, right?
yes.
So it's connected, when it says plus, it's connected with these words,
Yes.
right? Okay, so now these are different spellings of the same word. Everybody see that? Different spellings of the same word. Okay, let's go to 1961. Reggie, read 1961, please. Just the first paragraph.
All right, 1 second. 1961. Haya, H-A-Y-A-H, a primitive root, to exist, i.e. be or become, come to pass, always emphatic and not a mere copula auxiliary. Used a number of times, for bacon or X, it says X altogether. Become, accomplish, committed, comma, like, break, cause, come as in come to pass, do, faint, fall, follow, happen, and then there's an X have, comma, last, pertain, quit oneself, and then require, XU. So I'm not quite sure.
So, now, you know, this is the deity, right? According to some YouTube teachers.
Mm-hmm.
This is Heya, or Heya. Reggie.
Yeah, I know.
Heya.
Yeah.
Everybody know what I'm talking about?
No.
This is Heya.
You call it
deity, or a power that some people call on.
the deity Heya, but I still don't quite get where I'm seeing that.
Me either.
Yeah, because it's not there. That's why you don't see it, Reggie. I'm just making the point that there are people who are calling on Strong's number 1961, and this is the meaning.
Oh.
So for you, since you know all of this stuff, it makes no sense.
Right.
You see that, Reggie?
Did we look up 183?
We're gonna look that up now.
Okay. So when you compare that, I'm trying to think of the verse. Is it Exodus?
Now, the Ibaryath word for that would be higher, right?
Yeah, I thought that's the same.
Hayaha?
No, higher, H-A-Y-A-H.
Yeah, Ahaya,
It's
Asher,
B.
Ahaya.
Yeah, it's B, right?
No, Ahaya, Asher, that's something different. Let me show you that this is.
But most
This is
folks,
just the root. We're just dealing with the root word. We're dealing with this right now.
yeah, but most of our people are
Right.
high. Most of our folks are saying Haya, one because of the term Haya Asher Ahaya, also thinking that it's ancient Indian. Haya.
Well,
So we know, but a lot of us don't really know the real, the deep meaning root. So
Right.
that's why I'm not catching it just yet.
what I'm saying, this word here in the Lord's Prayer is rendered B. Hello, B. Higher.
Oh, okay.
Okay, in the Lord's Prayer is rendered B. You know, like to be.
To be.
Follow B.
Be or become B.
Versus
The word is like where it says,
exist.
hallowed be thy name.
Mhm.
That word higher is there for that word be.
So you know what? There is a distinction between just existing and be. The words be. Be implies some type of creative, some type of directive, creative sense. Be this, be perfect, or some intentional creativity.
Okay, now let's go on to Strong's 183.
Okay, 183 is, oh, this one.
Is Rosemary back with us?
She's still here. She had to go on I guess she had to, I don't know if she's doing security work or not, but she had to go on around.
Oh, okay, excuse me. Apostle, can you read this through here, and then Reggie, after Apostle does that, can you show us what's in the paperback?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
this is where it says 1933. It says compare Hebrews 183. So
Mhm.
this is 183. So Apostle, can you take us through Strong's number 183?
Yeah.
Part of speech.
Ava,
Part of speech.
verb,
Root word.
prime root.
Yeah, okay, now let's go. Okay, so now let's look at the KJV translates this in English as. Go ahead, Apostle.
As desire 17 times, lust 4 times, long 3 times, covet 2 times.
And the Hebraic.
Desire, incline, covenant, wait,
Covet.
longingly, covet, excuse me, covet, wait longingly, to wish, to sigh, want, be greedy, prefer.
Continue. A and B.
Yeah, what's that, pile?
To desire.
To desire, to crave, food or drink.
To desire.
To
Continue.
desire, long for, lust after, of bodily appetite.
Now, who do this sound like? Who's lusting for? Who does this sound like?
Semi has, I'm sorry. Satan, you're craving, appetite. It's like, sounds like a demon or whatever. It's a.
Well, we do know that the giants are wanting what? They still want to eat. They
Yeah.
still want to have
Well, they
sex.
couldn't get their fill. They couldn't get enough.
Okay, okay.
They still crave everything. They want to eat food and water, right? When I say giants, I'm talking about the deceased, the ones whose physical body was destroyed.
Yeah, but
the demons, they want to possess people, or they want to get into a new fleshly body. Why? So that they can fulfill their desires that they still have, their cravings.
It's when
food and drink, you throw sex in there, right?
Right.
Sex, eating,
and blood. It's Wendigo.
for the children.
They love violence, don't they?
Yeah, it's a Wendigo. It's a Indians call it's an evil Wendigo spirit. It's kind of like a vampire or wolf, any type of those monsters that just long to get what they want to get.
Anybody remember that Bible verse that talks about the demons? They still want to eat and drink.
Genesis 6. What scripture you talking about?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I looked at this.
Well, there's something about like when you being careful, you chase one demon out and 7 more come in.
The demons still have a desire. I can't remember the Bible verse it is right now, but it'll come to me. Maybe later it'll come to me. I haven't looked at this kind of stuff in a long time.
Maybe it's, well, you probably didn't. I was going to say Jude or Peter, but you probably wouldn't have read it because you know.
I read the New Testament for 35 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we come back to it. I don't want to spend too much time on, but y'all see what's happening here?
Mhm.
Wow.
Covet. What's the definition of covet? Now, are these things that the Most High would do?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Covet, yearn to possess or have something.
Yearn.
Desire, crave, have one heart set on.
Appetite. It's all, yeah. It's all.
Now, remember the kind of remember the type of analysis we're doing, right? Everybody remember that?
Right.
So let's go back, look at analogy. This was just one of them.
Similarities.
See? And what was the other one we looked at? Let's see, I think we started with compare. What were the other meanings we looked at? How did we get to, maybe it was down here. Oh, yeah. See, be of equal or similar quality in nature. Here's another one. What's that?
Specify relationship with another thing or person in terms of nature or quality.
And then this one.
Right.
Draw an analogy between one thing and another for the purpose of explanation or clarity.
It's all comes down to like degrees of covetedness. I want what he has, or I want what she has.
So now when we look at these, okay, so now we need to look at similarities, right? Also differences, but similarities, right? The focus of if we focus on, no, this is not it. Where is it? So let's say if we look at this, have a specified relationship with one thing or another in terms of nature or quality, to be equal, of similar quality or nature. I kind of like this one. Draw an analogy between one thing and another for the purpose of explanation or clarification. So that means have a discussion, right? So now this is the 1961. All right, let's go back to the deity. So this is the Heya Heya.
Mm.
And people get upset about this. That's why I try not to even deal with it, because it's, you know, it's not worth the effort. So this is the Heya Heya. It's a verb. So that verb tells you right away it's not a noun, right?
Exactly.
It's not, and it's definitely not a proper noun. It's not somebody's name. Meanings was, come to pass, came, has been, past tense, were, happened, past tense, become, future tense, pertained, that's ed, so that's past tense. Okay, better for thee. Y'all see all of that?
Yes.
Okay, then Hebraic, to be, become, to pass. Okay, exist, happen, here, or did we fall out? We talk about something around here, maybe, right? Fall out. So we're supposed to look at the similarities between these, because why? They're related, right? Okay. Anyway, so is this clear, everybody, or no?
I've kind of lost the point where we came from here. I'm like,
Because this is 1961 is the root word for H368.
Mhm.
See, what they did is, see, they made this into a proper noun. See, proper noun. Why did they do that? Now, see, how can it be? So it's a proper noun, but they give you the root 1961.
Mhm.
But when you look at Hebrews 1961, you have to do comparative analysis with what? Strong's number one. Oh no, what's happening? You have to look at Strong's number 1933 and then Hebrews 183. Everybody see that?
Mhm.
So that's where you're now dealing with words like covet. Hold on, y'all. Uh-oh, my mouse stopped working. What's going on? Now my mouse is not working. My screen, I'm locked up, y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Just wait. Don't hit it.
Okay.
How
So
many?
everybody sees what's happening here?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the tetragrammaton. This is the deity. Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahuwah, every way the Hebrew Israelites pronounce it.
Ball.
Y'all see that? That's it. Its root word is Strong's number 1961, which we looked at. When you look at that, you have to, in order to understand what it is, you have to compare it to Strong's number 183, which was covet, bodily desires, all of that, plus 1933. And the tenses are combined. So it's very problematic.
So
Do
what
you see
is?
that, Laverne?
Yes.
See, it's also translated all caps, L-O-R-D, G-O-D, this one, and then there are variations. It's a variant in one time, right?
This is why we so messed up.
Right.
Is there a basic name for the Creator, for the Most High, other than just power? You know, our power.
No, it's actually, there's no name. Name is a Greek concept.
No name. Okay, even better.
Right. Remember reputation, appellation, mark of all of that stuff. Hold on. Memorial, unique identifying mark, and all of that stuff. Now remember,
I'll just stick with our Father then.
I'm with you.
that's not better, Reggie. I haven't taught you something yet. There's something I need to teach y'all. So look at this one. This is Hebrews 136. This is the what? I believe this is the Adonai.
Yeah.
Right. So this is actually a divine name. Remember we went through that? Y'all remember?
That's Baal too.
Yeah. This is a divine name.
Yeah. That's Baal.
So
Moloch.
Unfortunately, oh, but check this out. I haven't done this in a long time. Let's look at Hebrews 30, 50, and 69. Part of speech is a noun, proper noun. Contraction for the tetragrammaton. Y'all see that? This is the ya. Contraction just means short spelling. Some of the pictographs dropped off. Okay, so this is that there, right?
Yeah. Ja, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's telling us who it is, right? Now let's go back to that. Where is it? What was it? Was it 60? Was it 3069? I forgot.
3068.
Well, 3068, 3069 are both the same.
Yeah,
But,
that's the
yeah,
tetragrammaton. But let's go back. We can just pick it up from here. Where is it? Oh, here it is, 3069. So, oh no, that says no. That's not it. Where did I click? Oh, here it is. See where it says compare?
Right.
3069. Did we just look at that? We just looked at 3050, right?
Right.
3069. Let's see what we get.
Okay.
Part of speech, proper noun. Variation of the tetragrammaton. Everybody knows what this is, right? This is 136. Y'all remember that? This is where the vowel, I believe this is where the vowel pointings come from. Adonai. Okay, and what's this? Strong's 430. This is what the Hebrew Israelites call Elohim.
Right.
In order to prevent the reputation, so that's not everybody, y'all remember that. This just has to do with the vowel pointings. So we see that these are all the same.
To prevent
People say Elohim, Adonai, any way they want to pronounce the tetra, all the same. Deity. Y'all see that? All the same deity. So if you're calling on one, you're calling on all of them. Same. Everybody see that? Okay, so we went through this real thoroughly before, but if you follow all of the strong index numbers, Reggie, you'll see some pretty amazing stuff. And okay, so good is working now. Anyway, so let's get out of here. Let's close this out. There's much, much more. So y'all remember 1930, we looked at 1933. Let's see. So let's go. So let's go back to the document.
I think I'm just going to have to lean on the Holy Spirit and my emotion to guide what I wish to bring about. And the Most High would know that.
But see, where all of this stuff is becoming known, right?
Yeah.
So this is no longer affecting you in a negative way.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with this. So we did a good job with this. Congratulations, everybody. You did a great job with this. All right. I'm tired, y'all.
Yeah, it's getting there.
I don't know, man. Too bad Rosemary missed it. Oh, this is where we left off. Y'all mind if we pick this up next class?
Next week.
Oh, actually, the good thing is that we already been through this. So we read through these meanings, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so yeah, this is infinitive construct. We read through that. This is the same information. Only thing different is, let's go through how the word is constructed. Y'all want to do that and call, or y'all want to pick up next week?
Let's just pick up next week.
Next week.
Okay, so let's remember we got to pick up.
Number 4, the word ka.
Okay, at the bottom of number 4, and I forgot the word. Oh, so page 24. We pick up on page 24
Right.
next week. So